guys? We back, man. Episode 8. We got a special guest in the building. Jimmy Bell Jr. from Saginaw, Michigan. Two-sport athlete, a phenomenal basketball player, phenomenal man. A guy had an opportunity of kind of building our rapport from the beginning, I would say, of end of October, beginning of November. But in so many words, it's been a very interesting kind of understanding of who he is as a man. I'm just glad to have him here today. Jimmy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Most definitely, bro. So, congratulations, first and foremost. Congratulations, bro. You have done something that is, I'm not gonna lie, a guy that I gotta ask you a question. When was the last time you played like college football? Like, I know you was in the spring, but like,
Man, the most like, a full season I ain't played since high school, like sophomore, junior year of high school.
okay,
So.
and Jimmy just signed an NFL contract. Okay, so all right, so we really gotta like let's start all the way from the beginning. Okay, you're from Saginaw, Michigan. Talk to me about that.
A lot of people don't know about Saginaw a lot. You got athletes like Draymond Green who put on for the city. A lot of people know him from there. Lamar Woodley, JaVale McGee from Flint, 20 minutes away from where I'm from. So Saginaw not too big. It's probably, if I was to guess, 50,000 people down there. So it ain't a lot of people. It's not a big city. Small city. Trenchers, a lot of, murder rates going up. It's crazy down there. It's a war zone down there, man. And not a lot of people make it out of there. The percent of people making it out of Saginaw professionally or making it, millionaires is so low. It's probably close to zero. And, me being able to be in that category of, almost making it out of there, it mean a lot to me and a lot to my city. So.
Cool. So when did you start like playing sports? Like before we get to that, talk to me about your upbringing, your family, your siblings, etc.
So I'm the baby of the family. I'm the baby of 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, baby of 4 actually. 2 on my dad's side, 2 on my mom's side. I'm the baby, the biggest of the family.
Of course.
I had a good childhood, decent childhood. I wouldn't say I had the most money. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a good childhood. Grew up just playing basketball, playing football. I was the biggest kid on the block, so I had to do something with my life. Just not being on the street. I tried to do anything but be on the street. So whatever I could do to stay off the street, do anything. I was just trying to find anything to do.
Who introduced you to basketball?
One of my longtime coaches, Greg Lawson. He brought me in probably 6th, 7th grade. That's when I first really started taking basketball serious. He took me in. He didn't really know me from a can of paint, really, and we kind of just built that relationship up. Him knowing, some of my family members and things like that, kind of just brought our relationship close, and he brought me to where I am today.
Cool. And then how would you transition into football?
Football was just me just being a big kid. I came into high school, I was already 6'7", probably 350 in 9th grade. So, you can't just let that walk up and down the hallways, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of was just brought on to me. Scouts started looking at me for college, and I started getting invited to camps and things like that, and I just kept growing as a football player.
So, if we're gonna transition back, we're gonna kind of bounce and forth back into, but when you started playing basketball, okay, your little league team, can you talk to me about it? Like, your position. You got any friends, any time like homeboys that you kind of grew up with that you kind of still connected with to this day? Like, speak on that.
I really started getting good at basketball probably 8th, 9th grade. A lot of my guys I grew up with. Some of them still playing, some of them overseas. I got a few of our guys I know in the NBA right now. So I still connect with all those guys. We still have a good relationship, like we, around each other every day. So none of that changed. Like I said, the basketball for me was just, I was a big kid. And it started off as something I wanted to do for fun. And I finally got my first offer from UNLV. My 10th grade year of high school, I got my first offer. And once I got that, I knew the sky was the limit. I knew I could, play Division I basketball. And I ended up doing that.
So you was a center?
Yep, center, yep.
Did you ever be at the top of the point, top of the key inning?
If I'm doing like a dribble handoff or something, I might shoot a 3 every now and then, but yeah, not too much. I'm mainly on the block.
Did you have like any training, any trainers, et cetera? Like, can you speak on, like, let's go back into the training, let's go back into the practicing, let's go back to the tour days, let's go back like to maybe you outreaching some extra connection or help.
Yeah.
Like, how was that process like for you?
Growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the best basketball player. I was just a big kid. I wasn't too good. I started training with Greg Lawson, who I mentioned earlier, and We was doing tour days. You know, we got a hill down in Saginaw. We used to run every morning. So I mean, he put me through a lot of workouts, a lot of hard workouts that I could never do. And throwing up, falling, like almost falling out, like just killing me. But as a kid, you know what I'm saying, you don't really know too much of what you're doing except what your coach telling you to do. So I kind of just always been the type of kid to listen and just, you know what I'm saying, listen to what my coach telling me. And they, you know, coach ain't gonna lead you in the wrong direction.
When you speak of the training, when you got your first offer, did you have to go to any camps, any like college visits or anything of that sort? Like I want you to school me on high school basketball recruiting because that's not my field.
Right. I mean, it's similar to football. I wouldn't say you take visits just yet. I mean, I was a sophomore at the time, so a lot of kids do take. I mean, usually if they know they want to go to that school, they might take a visit as a sophomore, but they usually don't take visits to maybe junior, if that, probably senior year. So the recruiting is pretty much the same. You know, you get your call, had a conversation with the coach. They, you know, we want to offer you, we're interested in you. And down the line, you know what I'm saying, that maybe the next year or so, as you're a junior, as you're getting older, you start taking those visits.
So when you went on your first visit, where was that?
My first visit I took was to UNLV. Yep, it was nice out there. You know, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't beat
Facts.
that. Las Vegas. Took a visit to St. Louis. That's where I ended up playing my first year of freshman basketball at St. Louis University. And that was really the only 2 visits I took. In Oakland University in Detroit. I took those 3 visits and kind of just fell in love with St. Louis at the time. And you know what I'm saying? That's where I ended up going.
So when you was in high school and you were, of course, you got your offers, you're a Division I athlete in so many words. Like, what were your points? What's your stats? What you looking like?
So high school, a lot of people don't know, in high school, my junior year, I left Saginaw and went to prep school in Arizona. So I reclassed there, did 2 years of prep school in Arizona. Junior year I averaged probably like 12 and 10. Senior year average like 15 and 12 or something, like, you know, somewhere in that range. So I had very good numbers. You know, like I said, more coaches started getting in contact with me and things like that, and I just kind of blew up especially when I left Michigan. All the offers came in, all the coaches started coming in and stuff like that.
Do you feel like that transition was necessary for you to kind of be where you're at today?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that was the beginning of this long journey that I've been on. Michigan sports just at an all-time low for the past probably 10 years, probably since the last time I was in high school. And it's just the talent, the Michigan rules. It's just so hard. And you know, you got states like out here, Mississippi. You got Texas, states like that where they so above Michigan. Like you can tell the difference between the players, the whole system. So it's just different out there.
So when you make mention of the difference, what are the differences? Because is it from a recruiting standpoint, or like just an overall mentality of athlete? Like, what are we hitting on?
I think it's both overall mentality of athlete. Because like I said, Saginaw, you being born in Saginaw, the percentage you making are already low. So the fact that some of them kids just around streets and just around violence, that's all they know. And you know, like me, I was a product of my environment, but I found a way to avoid the streets and get out of that. So I was just happy for myself to, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do that. But I think like you look at states like Texas, they got big facilities. They got high performance facilities. You got these athletes who come from, they playing from when they little. They playing when they 5 years old. We don't start till we maybe, like I didn't start playing until maybe 7th grade. You got kids playing Pee Wee football, Pee Wee basketball, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff. So I just think some of these states outside of Michigan just so more advanced than where we at.
When you went to prep school, what was your biggest transition? Like, what was it, like a mental thing? Was it something like physical? What was so much more from the prep school that you attended versus where you were at?
I think the mentality thing was different because you know, being in Michigan and moving all the way to Arizona, that's a way different. I mean, different weather, different people, different environment. You know, like I was 350 at the time. Got to Arizona, dropped like 80 pounds, got to get ready for my prep ball season. So I mean, it was just different for me out there. I was hiking out there. My coach was on a vegan diet. He put me on for like the first 2 months I was out there. Ended up losing like 50 pounds in 2 months being out there. And you gotta think, I'm still young. I'm 17, 18-year-old kid in Arizona, but I had a mentality like, if I came out here, I moved to Arizona, I gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do something right. So it was just a mentality thing for me.
What was the biggest thing you took from Arizona, non-sport related? Because you made mention of hiking, vegan. Those are all things that normal athletes or normal people don't get into. So what are some things that you, like really enjoyed from that standpoint?
I think nature. Nature is a big thing I took out of that because, you know, like in Michigan, you ain't really got too much nature. I mean, you might have a few little hiking trails, maybe somewhere you can walk, ride a bike, but when you go on those high mountains, you all the way in the air, and it's taking you 2 hours to climb a mountain and another hour to get back down.
Nah,
I mean,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? That's different. And, you know, the Arizona weather, it's 100 degrees out there. So it was a great experience for me. I think that took a real big toll on my life.
When it kind of, I want you to dive into the veganism
Yeah.
more. How, like, what were
Man.
you eating? Like, talk
Tofu,
me through that.
tofu. I mean, I was eating rice. I might eat like a little bit of chicken here, but I was living with my coach's wife when I went to prep school, so she was just strictly vegan, and that's all I had to eat was like tofu, things like that, rice. Just eating a lot of fruit, eating a lot of vegetables. So I might sneak down. We had a Panda Express down the street. I used to walk down there. Might grab me, you know what I'm saying, grab me a little something from out of there. But other than that, man, it was just like, man, it was different. Vegan, I know 18-year-old kid want to be a vegan.
100%.
But you know,
100%.
at the time, like I said, my mentality was just so different. I knew what I came down there to do, and that's just what I had to do. So I just did it.
How was your overall performance based off what you was putting inside your body?
I think my performance definitely got better. I was, feeling better inside, moving better. I mean, coming from an athlete, you eat better, you feel better, you play better, you move. You know what I'm saying? You move better, you think better. So I think that changing my diet and drinking a lot of water, drinking a lot of baked food, eating a lot of baked food, not eating fried foods and sugary drinks and things like that, just getting away to unnecessary calories helped me a lot.
So take me from Arizona and take me to your first stop in college.
Okay, so Arizona. First stop was St. Louis University. Had a decent freshman year. Started all games, coming in as a freshman. Sophomore year came around, which was the COVID year. That was the COVID year when all the big crazy stuff was going on, and that year was crazy. But we ended up finding a way to make it through that. Had another good year, solid year as a sophomore. Transferred into the portal, went to JUCO for a year. I felt like I needed somewhere to go where I can develop a little bit more. So I just went to JUCO, just try to get myself more out there.
And where were you?
Moberly Community College,
Okay.
in Missouri.
Missouri? Okay.
Yeah, right. Actually, down the street from where I was at in St. Louis, about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
Had a great year out there. Probably averaged close to 20 points a game, about 15 rebounds a game. So doing good in that field. Ended up transferring to West Virginia with Bob Huggins, legendary coach Bob Huggins, who still checks on me every now and then. And that's a good guy who helped me throughout my career at West Virginia. Into the portal again.
I want you to go back.
Yeah.
Speak on that, coach.
Bob, a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people might not know Bob Huggins. He's a legendary coach, probably got, I want to say, close to 950 wins. He just a great guy. A lot of people see him as a coach who always yell at you, or a coach who always getting on you, but that's just the type of coach he is. And, me personally, that's just the type of coach I always wanted to have. So it was just an honor being able to play for him, being able to be coached by him.
And how was your career there? Because, so, of course, when you go through your process of going to the NFL, transitioning to the NFL, just got signed, of course, you go on Twitter, Jimmy Bell Jr., and everybody is talking about your basketball career that you had at West Virginia.
Yeah.
So, like, somebody said, like, oh, yeah, he was a dog, he was a legend, or you talking about this, you talking about this guy. Of course, speaking about you in the highest form. So how can you, like, take me through how was your career there? Did you form any brotherhoods there? Like, just your whole culture that you had from, like, even what was the transition point from, of course, St. Louis University to JUCO to there, from a player perspective, just all around totality of, like, what were you kind of experiencing?
I think I had a great experience at every school I was at, from St. Louis to JUCO to West Virginia, even here. My St. Louis guys, I still talk to them every day. We still got our same old group chat we still talk on. My guys from Moberly, from JUCO, I still talk to them every now and then, maybe on Instagram or something like that. The guys from West Virginia still got our same group chat. Like we always, everywhere I went, I never had a problem with the guys I played with. It was just something like, everywhere I went, we was like a brotherhood. Like, I came to Mississippi State, I felt like I knew them guys for two to 3 years, and I was only here for a year. And we, some of them guys is on to the NBA, on to overseas, on to professional. We still talk every day. So it's like, when you form bonds like that, man, it stay with you for a long time.
100%. And then let's go to your transition to Mississippi State. And also, what's your records like? From Western Virginia? What made you hit the portal? Like, was it just better opportunity to, like, prepare yourself for, like, professionals? Because granted, now we're gonna ask questions about how you transitioned over to this side.
Right.
But, like, what were you thinking? Like, of course, like, I'm in the portal, but I'm making better decisions for myself, for my family. putting us in a better position
Yeah,
of
I
like you trying
mean,
to go pro?
at the time, you know, I came to West Virginia to play basketball. Football was brought to me at the end of the season by one of the football coaches, Neil Brown, at the time. He just brought it back to me like, you ever thought about playing football again? You know, it took a couple of days, slept on it. I just, you know, gave it a go. Did the spring training, and I was actually supposed to stay down there. But my coach Bob Huggins ended up, you know, getting into some trouble. Ended up getting fired from there. So that kind of took a toll on me on the basketball side of things, and I kind of just, you know, talk with my family, talk with my agent, kind of just into the portal. Just felt like it was a better decision for me, and you know, found a great fit here at Mississippi State with Coach Chris Jans. So I think it was a great thing for me to hit the portal, especially nowadays. You see a lot of kids hitting the portal, the NIL stuff with the, you know what I'm saying? So it was different at the time, and I really, the time I was entering the portal was when NIL was just, you know, really getting big. So it was just kind of one of those things that helped me transition from out the portal to Mississippi State.
So was NIL something that kind of, how was that transition? Because I want to say, did you start college before NIL?
Yep.
Okay.
I came probably like a year, maybe 2 years right before NIL. Like at the time they were talking about it, but nothing was, you know what I'm saying, official. As I got to maybe, I want to say my JUCO year, that's when it really started, you know what I'm saying, picking up and everything.
Right. So as you being a guy who's been through the portal and has been, you know, on the NIL tip, of course, that's done because you done with college. But how is that kind of transition? You know, you as a football, you as a player,
Right.
okay, you as an individual, like the pros, the cons, the in betweens. What could you speak about that from your point of view of how, you know, you see how you've handled it, and also like kind of advice for other guys, like in whatever sport, because it's all around.
I mean, I feel like there's pros and cons in pretty much everything you do. As far as NIL, I think the pros of it was obviously, you know, making a lot of money, making the most money off your name, image, and likeness. Being able to take care of your family. You know, you got guys making close to $1 million or more, and that's never been done in college till, you know, the past few years. So you got opportunities like that to take care of your family. I mean, if you got to enter the portal, that's just what you have to do. Like, everybody's situation different. So if you got, you know what I'm saying, $100,000 deal here and you got a $500,000 deal here at a different school, I mean, not a lot of people making $500,000 in their lifetime. So that's just a decision, you know, that player, that, you know, that person, their family have to make, and that's kind of what it was for me. Just being able to make more money for me, make more money for my family, and take care of my family while I was in college.
Does that hurt your draft stock out of curiosity?
I don't. As far as basketball, I wouldn't say it hurts your draft stock. I mean, you do have a lot of kids who go 3, 4, 5 schools maybe, and that might, you know, some scouts might look at that as far as like moving a lot. But I mean, I feel like you move once, maybe 2 times. I don't think it, you know what I'm saying, I don't think it really affect your draft stock too much.
How was your transition? Of course, you talked about Mississippi State a little bit. How was Mississippi State for you, and like how has it been to you, like as a all, like on the court, off the court, friendships, bonds, etc. Like how has that been for you?
I think Mississippi State was very good to me. The time I played here, and they still are good to me. I mean, I walk around campus all the time. People say hey to me. They might see me at the store, say hey, you want to take a picture with me? So the love here, the people here is good. I mean, the down south love is. I always embrace it, man. I always heard about it, man. But when I finally got down here, I really felt it. Like I embraced it. All the fans, all the coaches, everybody. You know, they love me here. I love them. So the love was always reciprocated.
Cool, and I know you had to love the food as well.
Oh yeah, man.
Because so I'm a little point about Jimmy. So 2023, I get done with not get done. NFL career is over. So in so many words, I go to a game. I think it was a homecoming game, and I look over. I'm chilling. I see Jimmy walking. Okay, that was in 2023. 2024, Jimmy walks through the doors to come get training from me, and it was a whole nother guy. So I said it to say this: Jimmy had to have loved the food and the culture down here, and all the hospitality that the food was being cooked with. So. Yeah, we gotta speak on your good eats, brother. Yeah. So how is that? How's the food here versus everywhere else?
The food here is so good. Like when I first got here, I told all my family, like when y'all come down here, y'all is gonna love the food. The catfish here is amazing. Every place I went to is just good. Like my first place I went to was Harvey's. That was the first place I went to. We don't have a Harvey's in Michigan. So they took me on my visit. I just fell in love with it. I had got some catfish or something. Fell in love with the catfish, and you know I'm a seafood guy. I love seafood. That's probably my favorite #1 food. So when I got down here, people was already telling me, like, you gonna love the Southern food, and you gonna love it. I always kept hearing it. Well, actually, when I finally got to taste it, really got to embrace it, I'm glad I came down here. I mean,
Facts. Okay, so Mississippi State has always kind of been known for, being good in a multitude of sports, and of course, basketball being one of those. Like, how did you come in? How did you gel with the guys, your teammates? You guys is just overall play, winning, things of that sort.
I think when I came here, especially me being a senior at the time, a graduate transfer at the time, I think my experience helped me get through that year, especially with Mississippi State. At the time, they had already had guys who've been here 2-3 years, so I was just coming into somewhere where the guys was already been here. So I wasn't coming into nothing that was too many new guys. I was probably me and maybe 3-4 other guys were the new guys. So we were already coming into somewhere that was already a culture that was set, a brotherhood that was already there. And we just kind of, embraced that and helped it out a little bit.
Great. So you get done with that. As you get done with that, you basically are transitioning, not even transitioning. You get done playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
What was like, okay, cool, I'm done playing basketball right now. Do I want to explore my options of possibly going to the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
going to being professional, or do I want to continue to stay in college and finish out football?
All right.
Okay, so
At the time, I mean, like I said, I had a good year. But football always been on the back of my mind. Like, it was like, no matter how good I was playing in basketball, no matter what, like, football was always on the back of my mind. So at the time the season was over, I kind of took a couple of days off to figure out, like, do I want to enter the NBA draft? At the time, I was thinking I had another year, so do I want to try out for the Mississippi State football team? Like, I just had a lot of stuff going on, but I had a good group around me, my mom, my agent, people like that, coaches. So we had, lots of like, I had days where I just didn't want to do nothing because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was just like, man, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And then I finally came to the conclusion, like, I'm gonna try the football thing out again. Did pretty good in the springtime. Like I said, I thought I had another year, but NCAA rules or whatever didn't allow me to get that extra year. So I kind of just took upon myself to put my mind to taking a year off and just doing straight football training for a year and get ready for pro day. And I had a pretty solid pro day and pressed some scouts.
Great. So you get done with the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't get the extra year back,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have an opportunity of just giving your all, of course, to one sport. And basically, you did so. So take me through your summer journey, your fall journey with pro day training, et cetera. Like, just take me through that, if you don't mind.
So the summer days. So right before I met you, that whole summer was when I gained that weight.
Yeah.
So I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't know what I was doing myself. Going through a lot of life things at the time, and I was just eating. And it kind of caught up to me. And at the time, I signed with an NFL agent. He was like, all right, we're going to take a couple months off, just straight training, nothing else. Like, I don't want you doing nothing else but training, strictly football training. And, my work ethic, I just put my mind to what I wanted to do, and was able to get the opportunity to get a chance in the NFL.
The coolest thing for your next event is the Premium 360 video booth, exclusively by Premium Productions. It's great for weddings, festivals, birthday parties, family reunions, baby showers, ribbon cuttings, and even conferences. Premium Productions is North Mississippi's premier wedding videography company with packages to fit just about any budget. And be sure to ask how to get a Premium 360 video booth for free. So give them a call or click today, 662-255-9991.
Great. So even because you rushing me to the NFL.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's no reason. I ain't tripping on it. But it's so much in between that transition. Being a guy that walked in and we're trying to just figure out the stance. We're just trying to get the basic fundamentals down of offensive line play.
Right.
And it's so interesting you said that. As a point of reference, like I maybe said before on this camera, but as I will say to you, and you know this, you took a year off from football, a year off from sport, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You just signed to an NFL team. I took a year and a half off from the sport, was coaching, signed to an NFL team. A lot of people don't know this. Jimmy's my son. But outside of that, me and Jimmy, we're 3.5 months at this point in time training. We've been training longer than that. And I said, man, when's your birthday? And he said, I know somebody asked me. Somebody asked me, said, when's when's your birthday? Asked me. And I said, why you want to know when my birthday is? And they was like, no, tell me. And I said, I was born in July. And then they was like, oh, you're a Cancer. They was like, well, Jimmy a Cancer too. I said, oh man, like this is really this guy is genuinely like I was in this world 1 year before he was, but in so many words, I set the foundation for this guy, and to see that in so many words, we are joking, but you know, the universe has a funny way of kind of showing itself. I didn't know you didn't know me. Big shout out to Jacoby.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because Jacoby was the kind of the connection there, and he's a great guy. He's a good guy, but in so many words. No, man, we had you came in, bro, and we're just sitting there talking, and we're just kind of going through certain things, and just your willingness, okay, to understand the game, your willingness to understand, and it's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
But understanding like, hey, this is going to be a long process. Okay, and also getting an uncomfortable conversation out early and often. So uncomfortable conversation is like, hey, like I ain't finna say dream, and I ain't we're not finna have some fantasy kind of training style or training sessions. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough. And also like being completely honest with a lot of guys, because a lot of athletes don't wanna hear this. Like, you're not about to be a first round draft pick. Right. But you gotta know that from the jump. And it's okay, like you don't play for sport. Shit, it is what it is. In so many words, but man, just to kind of see your transition physically, mentally, and just it was a consistent grind with Jimmy. Jimmy came over for positional training. He did a lot of his pro day training as well over here at State with Coach Ye, who does a phenomenal job, and the staff over here at Mississippi State. But in so many words, he would go there, he would train, and he was just committed. He was religious to it, like every single day, every day. Knowing for a fact I'm a bigger guy, he's a bigger guy, he's a taller guy than me. Like I'm 6'7", he's 6'9", and I'm like, man, I know your knees hurt right now, but just the mindset and also the group of guys that we had, like it's no ego with Jimmy. So him understanding like who he is as a person, what he brings to the table, all of his college accolades that he had in basketball, and literally learning a lot. From one of the guys that we got in our session by the name of Bryce Vaughn, B. And because B got this really, really nice pass set. And I was like, man, I said, you gotta like keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing it. And in so many words, like to see where Jimmy was and so where he started to where he is now is a night and day difference. There's still so much room to improve on. But man, I'm not gonna lie. Having you inside the room to where guys can see guys from the city as well, because you come from a small city. Of course, West Point is a small town as well, but a guy to where like you rarely find athletes that can be like, man, I'm coming over here to train where we train at, and it's going to be younger individuals inside the training session. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be high school guys in there. Excuse me, but yeah, you are. You'll come in there sometimes, and it could be literally small kids walking in or walking out as you about to get ready to get started your session, and it was zero judgment from my end. So I must say, like, I'm completely, like, I want to say thank you about that. In so many words, a lot of people look at the outside of the situation like, man, I don't really know if I want to, regardless of the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, like, our numbers at Pro Day this year, like, spoke for themselves. Of course, you did your big one over there. You had, of course, help from, Coach Ye, but also our numbers as well from, like, how our guys did and how our guys tested. We had the fastest 40, the strongest 225, highest vertical, highest jump, regardless of wherever. But in so many words, because the location doesn't dictate the person, and it's about the environment that you're in. And if you come around where we training at, like if you're gonna buy inside the mindset more so than anything. So I really want to tell you thank you on that. And then we kind of transition back to you, bro. Like you were training, you are training, you still are. You go to Pro Day. I'm at that Pro Day. Take me through your mindset. Take me through your jitters. What are you going through internally?
So me not playing football. Coming in the Pro Day, I knew what I had to do. The morning of the Pro Day, I really woke up like very nervous, like super nervous. And the night before, I kept telling myself like, "You good? You all right? You'll be fine." And when you really get to that time, like, okay, in a couple more hours, I got to show these scouts like this is the only shot I got. So I mean, just me talking to my mom, talking to my agent, just praying, hoping that I just needed one person to fall in love with me. That's all I needed, and that was the only thing on the back of my mind, like. All you need is one scout to fall in love with you, one scout to show interest, and go from there. And you know what I'm saying? That was my mindset through the whole Pro Day. Maybe didn't have the best numbers than a lot of guys across the country, but
No, you did good.
Yeah, the more you know what I'm saying, you put your mind to it, you just got to do it. Don't think about what anybody else think, what anybody else say. You just got to go out there and do what you've been training to do.
Great. Do you feel as if when you stepped out there that you were prepared for what you were stepping into?
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, Coach EA preparing me so well. Like on top of the training I was doing with you and the lifting I was doing with him, like you guys prepared me. I couldn't be no more prepared than I was for pro day. I mean, I feel like I had a great pro day. I had fun. Got to do some stuff with the guys I've been training with the same amount of time they've been training with me. So it was just good to build those relationships, build those type of workout environments together, and it was a great time.
Great. So take me through. You get done with pro day. What's the first thing you doing as soon as you get done with pro day?
As soon as I get done with pro day, I go home, shower, feed my dog, go out to eat with my family. My family all down here to see my pro day, mom's girlfriend, sister, whatever. We go out to eat and we kind of just embraced it as a family. Like I'm really the first in my whole family to do something like that. So we kind of just embraced it, talked about it, laughed about it, and after that it was more so of a waiting game, kind of to see what was going on. Obviously the NFL draft was coming up a few weeks after pro day, so it was kind of just an exciting thing that I got it over. But another thing where it's like, all right, you're not done yet. You just got through the first part. Now you got to wait and see if you get that opportunity to make it to the NFL. And once you get that, then you go from there. And we at that point now. So
cool. So draft hits. Draft just got done. Yep. So the draft is finished now, and you get done. I receive a phone call. It was Saturday night.
Yep.
Saturday. Jimmy called me. Hey yo, what's up, bro? Chargers called me. Going to invite me out. Okay, cool. Jimmy called me again. Hey yo, yeah, I'm getting signed. I said, hey, what? I said, what? Yeah, what are you? I was like, what are you talking about right now? What's going on? But like I kind of told you off air in so many words, like nothing happens for coincidence. Like nothing is. And your story is something that I'm glad I'm the first, in so many words. I know there's other people and other things you've done. But first of myself, bringing your story kind of to the masses, even though I understand, like, it's interesting. It's very unique, okay? And you're so humble and modest about it because it's like your personality. But you have done a real fantastic job of really and truly just embodying the culture of football and and you still got a long way to go. I'm not going to disrespect the sport. You still got a long way to go.
For sure.
So, dog, I really and truly just want to tell you that, man, because this is something that is absolutely extraordinary. It's phenomenal. And there is no mistakes. I understand, it's so interesting, bro, because I was just talking to my family and I was telling my family, man, this guy, and my mom was like, well, because I'm just bigging you up. I'm like, well, he ain't even play sport. He ain't even played a sport for a year. And it was like, well, do you know who did that before him? I was like, what are you talking about? And I told you earlier today. And I was like, well, it's just like you did. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess, but in so many words, because I'm so humble and modest about it. But I was like, respectfully saying, like I told you from the beginning, like I continue to tell you, whatever I went through and whatever I had to transition through from a mental standpoint and what I had to go through, and if I can give a person such as yourself that literally have walked similar paths and different routes, don't get me wrong, but in certain things that we're kindred spirits on, any form of advice is really the mentality. And just to see your mentality, your mindset of how you just soak up the game and your knowledge and your hunger, for wisdom. And I'm not the easiest person to get along with on purpose. but no, man, to see because my personality is not for everybody. And I promise you, if you're coming to train with me, so I'm not going to change who I am because you paying me. So at the end of the day, you're in my environment, but there's no knock to you because you literally man, he just talking.
Yeah,
so
I kind of embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. Because he just talking. Yeah, but it's good to see that because I need my younger guys to see that. Because a lot of times they haven't had an opportunity of really being chastised like they will if they get that opportunity going to college. That they haven't had that opportunity, somebody look in their face how you conduct yourself is wrong. What you are doing is wrong. Especially when you get recruited, especially when you get so many things thrown at you for free. You don't really know what it's like to have true accountability. So a lot of times, I'll work out, as a point of example, I'll work out with these guys. I train them for pro day, but I'm a physically fit person myself in so many words. So one day last week, matter of fact, one of the guys said something slick. Was like, "You ain't gonna work out. You can't do what we do." I bet. So I rolled up the workout, and we all did it for the most part, and we all know who the first was to finish. And that was me. And I had everybody in there. I had my wide receiver, my running back, my linebacker. I had him in there. I had literally, it was a full house. It was like 10 people, 10 of my pre-draft guys in there. I worked them all because it was really just a mindset. It was just kind of just to show guys like, you know, and I had one of my young pups in there. My cousin Skylar Lashley was in there. And I did that for a couple of different reasons because a lot of times a lot of younger athletes don't know how to lead by example. Like we're in a real pacified kind of era to where like we'll see wrong being done and we don't want to call it out or like really like hold these younger guys accountable. And so like it's easy when a coach I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's sometimes easier for a guy to maybe yell it and preach the standard. It's another one like to actually show guys like I'm really living what I'm saying right now. Like I get down here and do exactly what you're doing and we'll outwork you while doing it. And we'll literally like just show you this. And then I get a phone call from one of my coaches, Coach B. Larry, that's up there at Scooby. He's like, man, what got in the sky? Like he out here like leading the groups. He out here calling folks out. He was like, what he did? Like because more so than anything, like it's just the environment that's inside. So in so many words, I'm glad that guys get to see like, you know, like conversations of like me and you talking, like you kind of being in there, like you even like calling guys out, like you in there, like you see the potential of the young guys that we got. And Jimmy's not gonna be the first one. Like it's a lot of young guys that's coming through the program that's gonna be good as years evolve. Not gonna give them too many flowers right now. They gotta earn them. But in so many words, they're gonna be really good. And Jimmy is right there along with them, pushing them. Like we got some crazy stuff we'll do. Like guys can't walk sometimes coming out of there, depending on how intense the session is. Right. And I always throw a wrench in there, but it's really just a mindset to really see how guys are really, you know, how you living. Like, are you living right for the most part? And we find out who ain't. You know, when some of the guys are leaving, go to Zaxby's. I get a phone call that such and such went to Zaxby's. He's not, you know, he can't perform. So we're gonna get that about you. But it's so many words. It's a true accountability, bro. Like, and it's a real brotherhood. So I really appreciate you, bro. Like for even like taking the opportunity, like coming to our program. And I don't take that lightly, bro. Like, of course I did it myself, but to see like, man, like I did it with another guy. The first of many, you know, manifesting into the air, and like those are things that like I do not take for granted, man. So I kind of want to kind of transition to you. So you get the phone call. How does that feel?
To be honest, man, I was at the movies at the time, and my agent kept calling me like, "Keep your
phone
on."
What was you watching?
Sinners. I went to go see Sinners.
Talk to me.
Yep,
hey,
Sinners.
hey,
which was a great movie.
Let's speak on that.
Great movie. Like I might have to go watch that again. Like that movie was so good. But yeah, go to see Sinners. And I feel my phone vibrate. I look up, my agent calling me. Okay, let me step out. I step out. He you know, you want the good news or the bad news? Anybody who hear that, let me get the bad news first.
I was gonna say, I'll make sure.
Let me get the bad news.
I don't say anybody, Jimmy. I ain't gonna say
for the
anybody.
most part.
But for me, I want to hear the bad.
Yeah, I want to hear the bad news first. So all right, go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what's up. He tell me, yeah, so where you at right now? You gonna be moving far away from there. I'm like, okay, what you mean by that? You want the good news now? Yeah, I'll take the good news. Yeah, the LA Chargers gonna bring you to rookie minicamp. You said what? My heart just started beating like so fast because like I've been training for that for so long, and you never like after the draft you don't know who's gonna call. You don't know if you're gonna get a call. It's still guys who I was just talking to my agent about. It's still guys who played 4 or 5 years of college and still haven't got a call. So I was just so blessed and just embracing that moment at the time. Like when I got that call and I heard him saying, "Yeah, the Chargers gonna sign you." Like my whole like everything just stopped. Like I'm outside the movie theater, just I'm wanting to cry, but I just know like I just can't do it. So many people out here, so I'm just walking around just on the phone. Like man, what? Like
I would have cried. I would have grabbed one of the last.
Man, I was trying so hard.
Wipe my eyes with them.
But I was trying so hard that time. Like man, my girl come out here like, "You good? What's wrong?" Chargers just signed me. Like we good, you know, big hug. And he like, yeah, call your mom, you know, tell them. Call my mom. Mom, what's wrong? What's wrong? The Chargers about to sign me. And she just yelled like so loud in my ear. I had to move the phone. Like she been my rock since I was young. Like she come to every game that she can, every home game, away game, whatever it is. Like my mom, when I told her, that's when it really hit me like, wow, like I really got a chance to, you know what I'm saying, take care of my family. I got a chance to play in the NFL. And, you know, when I heard that news, it was just kind of surreal for me.
So yeah, like I said again, don't know if this camera hurt me. I know what I would have did. I'm crying.
Man, I
I'm
tried.
watching Sinners. It's a great
I
night.
cried when I got home.
I'm crying right there. I'm picking up one of the little people. I'm wiping my eyes with them, setting them down, and after that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my phone calls.
Yeah.
So okay, you said you did cry. Talk about that.
Man, it was
It's
one
okay
of
to
those
be emotional, black man.
Yeah, I mean, I go home. My girlfriend don't even know I cry, but I go home. You know, we going through our regular night routine.
Soft.
And I'm the type of guy. Me personally, I'm the type of guy like I don't like seeing people seeing me cry.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in the bathroom. You know, I'm getting ready to get in the shower, listen to music, and I'm just thinking. Like,
It was one of those.
Yeah, like
turned on the music.
turn some music
yeah,
on.
In fact,
looking in the mirror, just looking at myself in the mirror, like, wow, like I really got a chance. And,
Yeah,
and that's when the tears just started coming out. I'm like,
man.
don't cry.
Oh man,
It was just one of those like man, like one of those breakthrough cries, kind of
Yes,
like,
sir.
you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So I was just proud of myself. You know, younger me would be so proud right now. That's just kind of what that crying was.
what would you tell the younger you?
Man, I could,
Would the younger you be proud of you right now?
I could, man, my younger self, because I've been through so much in my life, man. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't understand. So the younger me, man, I don't even know what I tell myself, man. Like, it's just like a lot of things that people told me I couldn't do. Like, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to do that. And I always overcame, like, pretty much every obstacle that they said I couldn't do. So my younger self was just, all I could say, my younger self be very much proud of myself. Like, since I was in 7th, 8th grade, people doubted me from playing basketball, playing football, making it in life, and you know what I'm saying, in anything. So, I mean, I was just proud of myself, really. I ain't gonna lie.
And a lot of people would take like, you know, even my coaching. It's not for the faint of heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just my mindset. It's my mindset. I don't try to rub that and force it on nobody else.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you some challenging words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can take it however you want to. You know, because we talked about it before. I said it. It's not a lot of talking when I get to talk. It's literally just me. I just be talking. I really be talking to myself, and people just be around. Like, man, this guy talking to us. I am, but I'm glad. That's why I'm glad guys are around to kind of stop me in my tracks, even though I don't stop. But yeah, man, I'm not going to lie, bro. You really, I keep going back to it because you put in a lot of work, but it's still a lot of work to be put in. Okay, so like even when he you gave me the phone call, you told me that, like, man, like, can I get a graphic, what the case may be? And I'm like, man, hell yeah, like I'm hitting up everybody, like, shit, you in the graphic, I'm hitting up like whoever, and I'm super excited, but understand like and like you already know, like the real work is just now getting started. You know what I'm saying? Because now you gotta walk inside, that building. And I'm very fortunate that I've had an opportunity of doing that. Like we had a conversation today. Like as soon as you get there, rookie minicamp, as soon as you walk inside those doors, like as soon as you get in, you're going to basically introduce yourself to everybody, et cetera. Kind of depending on where you guys be housed. A lot of times it'll be at a hotel. And I don't know if you guys are doing a 1-day or a 3-day camp. Hypothetically speaking, like we spoke again, if it is a 3-day camp, so day one, it's all basic install for the most part. But it's always your ability to the intellectual part. So, and advice I would give to you, like I said off camera, but I say again, like never be afraid of asking questions because you are, new to the sport and you still got a lot of things to learn. So embrace the hardness, embrace day one, which a lot of times is going to be, first down, second down, second day. Basically, third and short, goal line, red zone, day 3, 2 minute, et cetera. These are all things you've been through, but things you haven't been through. So in so many words, like really lean into the vets, really lean into the, like, spend extra time. I don't know, every situation is different. I wasn't there for a long time at all, but every situation is different. You got a coach or a GA or a person that's there, assistant that's like stays back extra to watch them film. Like, man, I'm coming in there with you. Like, and how me and Ellis did it, Ellis Merriweather, who was a running back at the Saints, now at Green Bay, how we did it. Like I told a little bit of our story to you off camera, but we knew we had to make the team. So what we'll do, we will go in and we would watch the film together, go over, okay, what's 36 slash? What's 36 slash Bob? Sixes to the right. Even numbers to the right, odds to the left, et cetera. Of course, basic, but granted, you may not know that, but you may know that as well. But also, just like different things. Well, what were you taught? The back is to mirror the running back. So in so many words, like we're really picking each other's brain. So when we got an opportunity, like running like that 36 slash bomb or whatever that call was, like when he hit it, like we was walking through those plays together. Like Mark, who was the guard at the time, or like Nick Saldivar, who was the guard at the time. Like we're actually like going through install plays together, like during, you know, those OTAs, those rookie mini camps. And we're really trying to, you know, bridge a gap and form a sense of brotherhood and unity, even though you understand that brotherhood and unity may not be forever, because the NFL is not for long. But at least you know for a fact you gave it your all and you have no regrets. So in so many words, just the mindset, the mentality as you walk through those doors, how you prepare yourself, get in there early. Like, you know, you're a pro to an extent, but it's always work to be had. Like you got your certain rituals or certain things you do when you walk in. You're going to go get in the hot tub, whatever that looks like for you. You're going to maybe get your extra SMR in, which is like your foam rolling, your self-mad fascia release, et cetera, et cetera. Like you're going to get all those things, create your ritual and live and die by that ritual, because that's what gets you going. And that's basically you creating your blueprint and your foundation for success. So basically, like, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like a lot of people didn't make the team, you know, at times because of individual, because that's a lot of, especially rookie minicamp, like that's respectfully saying that's damn near how I made the team was individual, like going 110% during the individual and not having no ego. I'm holding the bag for you. Like, okay, cool. I need to hold the bag. I'm not even asking you I need to hold the bag. I'm holding the bag. That year and a half that I took away from the sport really did me a lot of justice, because I was able to understand what coaches really look for. And I wasn't a bad student of the game, but I really need to see how can I look through the lens of my coach so I know basically what I need to do to possibly make the team. Now, it's different strokes for different folks depending on your mindset, your mentality, or your skill set, or how you coming in. But me basically being a rookie minicamp guy, I needed a guy that basically to have an opportunity. I knew my type of mindset I needed to have. My mindset was one to where it's no ego. It's not like I'm doing whatever I got to do to ensure that everyone around me, especially myself, I'm adding value for oneself. So in so many words, bro, like because everybody's going to make a mistake. Cool. Like physically, I learned this from Dr. Goodman, psychiatrist over here at Mississippi State. It's like physically, like I'm wiping it off. Like bad thing happened, I'm wiping it off. And Coach Marone looked at me one day and said, "Why are you doing that?" Because I was like, good thing happened, I'm wiping it off. Bad thing happened, I'm wiping it off, because I'm living in the past. I can't afford to live in the past. I can't afford to stay there, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of negativity back there. When I only thing I can control right now is my time, my energy, my effort, my enthusiasm, but really truly like where my feet are at. So taking those steps in front of me, and that's just kind of something I adapt into life as well. But more so than anything, man, like go out there. Yes, it's great to have fun, but it's also like fun like to kick another man's ass, and more so than anything, it's fun to know how you did it. So be intentional with everything you do, but also having fun at the same time, and go through like, you know, your 10,000 hours when it comes to practice certain things, but like practicing good habits, because a lot of times we can practice 10,000 hours of bad habits as well. So get around asking questions. Like I got to take my ego out of it. I may play a certain way that my coach don't like, and he real deal may cut me because he doesn't like how I play, but I get the job done. I got to know my role. Am I a first round guy? Am I a second round guy? Am I a free agent? Am I a rookie minicamp? Am I a try-on guy? Like, what is my role? So at the end of the day, I can't look at what the guy does over there, what the vet's been doing, even though I can take certain things away from him. I got a real deal be a guy that can be molded by my coach. And basically, you are the perfect example, which is part of the reason why you got the opportunity, because a lot of times when you get something that it's a beautiful thing of the unknowing that you don't know. You know, it is, because it's a curiosity there, because you're a baby inside of the sport, you know, you're a full-grown man. Right. So a lot of times if you get a person who's willing to actually harness that and bring that to kind of fruition, that's a lot of times like them 30 for 30 stories. That's why I said I'm so grateful for you kind of to be on here, because it's the first of many, and I'm already speaking that over you. But no, bro, like I'm really excited, you know, for this journey, not only for you, but also for myself, because now it's like, okay, like cool, like what do I need to do extra to kind of put this guy in a position? Like, what knowledge do I need to go seek for? Like, I'm a younger guy. Like, I'm 26 years old. So in so many words, like I'm learning everything. So I'm reaching out to Duke. I'm reaching out to Josh at Velocity. I'm reaching out, you know, to my dog down there in Florida. Like, I'm reaching out for anything, because I want to be here not for a good time, but also for a long time as well. So I'm getting around guys who's done it, asking, seeking for knowledge, seeking for help in certain areas that I feel like that can really make me a well-rounded individual. So if that comes with travel, then by all means, I need to do so, because at the end of the day, what I'm attempting and what's basically being built here is like, man, you come back once you get done what you over with now, like gonna be eventually like into a whole facility as time manifests. But in so many words, man, I really appreciate you being like, you know, from the ground, like grassroots with me. Cause like, man, it's like the second year of me doing this, like full heartedly, like doing this. And I really don't take that for granted. I don't take like this conversation that we having for granted. Like regardless of how much like I joke and play with you, like you can't take it for granted at all. Like I told you earlier, it's more life ahead than it is behind. So never like we're not. You can't live life living in a rearview mirror. So by all means, like buckle up and go get it. So man, once again, I'm proud of you. I'm very thankful for you being here. And once again, guys, Jimmy Bell Jr., a dog. Super proud of him. Super proud of him. Once again, big shout out to Hot Ground Coffee for housing us, allowing for us to be here in this very, very beautiful establishment. Please come by and get you guys some biscuits. I know they got coffee, but please, guys, get the biscuits. Get the biscuits. Once again, bro. And we out.
Yes, sir.
Yep.